Right, leading off, we've got the 2024 Nissan Titan Pro-4X. And just to kick things off, I love the front of this vehicle. I always have. I think what they've done with changing the orange kind of reddish thing with the Nissan logo, where it also has your front-facing camera right there, I think that looks really good. And the grille, it's not too busy. They retained it sort of a matte black with the, plastic kind of cladding. I don't really love these for longevity standpoint because they break easily. I just had that happen to my Honda. Kind of sucks, but whatever. Going over into these full LED lights, you got the Titan logo in here. Really cool. Freaking, it's like futuristic. You got all the nice cuts in there. Have some daytime running lamps. You got fog lights down there. Those are halogen, but they'll be cheaper to replace. So, and I don't really care about, LED fog lights necessarily. Coming down on the valance down here, this is solid steel, and so is this bad boy. That's the one great thing about one of the great things about the Pro-4X package. And you've got this just massive tow hooks here. I do wish they would have painted these the same color as that. I'd get some of that orange paint, slap that on there, but some of you might like the more blacked out look. That's just sort of subjective. Tell me what you think about this color here. We've got gunmetal, that's what they call it. So it's kind of understated. This one definitely needs a bit of a bath. So over here we've got the 18-inch wheel with the general grabbers. The size on this is 275/65/18. These are a really good tire, actually. I think that they don't get enough credit, in my opinion. They have really good road manners, and off-road they do just as good as the vast majority of other, all-terrain tires. Coming into the suspension, don't know how well you all can see that, but we do have a Bielstein suspension, off-road shocks. There is no disconnecting control arms or any of that stuff, but I'm sorry, disconnecting sway bars or any of that. But oh well, it's got what you need. You do have full skid plates underneath this. Around the side here, one issue that I have is these mirrors are just so massive. Like, I feel like you're just gonna blast those every time you're in a parking lot or anything like that. The V8 endurance deal, pretty cool looking, but when you feel it up close, it's a little cheap and chintzy. I don't know. You've got the blacked out handles. These do have the push button enter and exit. You can lock it and unlock from there. Keys in there, so it's gonna make that little noise. These side steps, these do not come off or fold up or anything like that, but man, they are really heavy duty. I think that they're mounted to the frame. I'll have to get underneath there and check, but I could see you, beating those up a little bit off-road if you're hitting some serious like Jeep trails and stuff. Around here, we've got a 6-foot bed, damped tailgate. This does not have the option to get up, step up into the bed, but what it does have is those side storage bins, which I really don't like. I would definitely get rid of these, me personally. It has a really good Utilitrack system all around. Yeah, you do have a power outlet right there. That's the other thing. It makes getting to your power outlets really quite hard. And I'm going to have to monkey with this. I feel like I'm going to break it. Yeah, there we go. All right, getting in and out of the Titan here. You do have a nice grab handle there. Again, side steps. For frame of reference, I'm 5'8", not a massive guy or anything, but I can get in and out of this really good. The seat is adjustable here. You can put the height up and down, full 8-way adjustability, tilt back and forth, all that jazz. On the door here, you do have memory seats. You've got just 1 and 2. Sometimes in other models, they'll actually give you 3 options, but 2 is fine with me. Regular old materials, a lot of hard plastics on here, but granted, this is an off-road truck, right? You got soft padding for your elbow, good enough. Over here on these switches, you do have the cargo lamp for the bed. You've got your 400 watt and 120 volt AC power back there, your rear locker, and your hill descent control down here. And then you can adjust your headlights for when you're towing, and you actually have that up here too, so you can make them higher and lower. This adjusts the brightness, I believe. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure. Over here, we do retain real functions for your lights. It's not buried into the infotainment like a GM's doing now. On the steering wheel, standard buttons, right? Nothing too special. Source, you know, you can control your radio, you can control your cruise control. This does have automatic cruise control and lane detection and automatic emergency braking. So coming in here, the infotainment, that is a 9-inch touchscreen, and I will show you what you get on the startup here. Titan Nissan Mobility. This does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and everything that you can think of, right, infotainment wise. It's got it there. You do get a 12-month subscription with SiriusXM with this. The audio functions are good. The button responses could be a little bit faster, as you can see. Tad bit of delay, but nothing too crazy. I mean, for an infotainment, it's acceptable. It's not going to blow your mind. It's nothing like what Ram's doing right now. And up here, we do have a full panoramic sunroof, which is really awesome. And you can control that up here. And check this out. Look at how slow that opens. It's just kind of silly. It's almost like a luxury car. Got an SOS button. I don't know who that's going to call. Maybe the Ghostbusters. But other than that, pretty basic interior. In the back, you do have some pretty cool functions storage-wise down here. If you want to zoom in there. This does fold out, and it does go all the way across, and you've got a nice flat floor for using, you know, loading big items and all that. When you fold this in, this does have an actual locking storage function right there. You can lock that, fold that over, and then just put your seat back with that button like that. Now, getting in and out, pretty easy. You have a lot of room back here. There are two USB-C plugs and then a standard 120 volt outlet plug back there. Get in there a little better. And you have rear AC vents, and this has the luxury package, so you have heated rear seats. Overall, the back seat is really nice. All right, underneath the hood of this Titan, we've got the 5.6 liter producing 400 horsepower, 413 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a 9-speed transmission, and the numbers on this are 11,000 pounds of towing. The fuel economy is 15 around town and 20 on the highway, which is honestly not that bad, especially for this XD model. One of the great things about the XD, well, you've got the increased towing, about 2,000 pounds, as well as a massive payload, 2,300 pounds of payload, which I don't know if anybody else has that high. It's quite a bit. This does have the hydraulic hood struts, so no prop rod or any of that stuff. Really, really great engine. This is going to outlast this vehicle and then some. So this is what you're going to see when you're backing out in the 2024 Pro-4X. It does have the 360 camera. It does have a front-facing camera. The resolution is acceptable. I mean, it's not bad, but I wouldn't say it's like super great or anything. You do have parking rear sensors, but I did turn those off just because they're irritating. And that's what you get when you're backing up. All right. Setting off in the 2024 Nissan Titan Pro-4X. This is one of the last dinosaurs, let's just say. You're gonna miss this when it's gone, trust me. And if you get into one of these and you take it for a drive, you'll see why. Because if you just listen to that, V8 raw power right there, 400 horsepower, 413 pound-feet of torque, and that is mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. There's no gimmicks here. There's nothing except for pure power, simplistic engineering that's going to last, the eternity. And you're just not going to have to mess with anything. And this power, for it being, a naturally aspirated engine, it doesn't take a lot to build up. I mean, it's really immediate. You can feel that torque down low. It is strong. You've got just a lot of confidence in this vehicle. It suits it. This is a great engine for a full-size truck. A lot of other manufacturers seem to kind of be taking chances with these powertrains that don't seem to match the size and weight of these vehicles, and Nissan has definitely stuck to their guns here with the old kind of tried and true method. And with the steering feel, people have complained that it's heavy. I don't really agree with that, and I don't know, I want some feedback in my steering. I don't want it to be so numb that I don't know what's going on. I've got no sense of my surroundings in a way, and that is one of the positives about this steering. And this is a telescopic, power. You can go up and down, all that stuff. So these seats are heated and perforated and cooled and everything, and I would say they're comfortable. They are a little on the hard side, but keep in mind this is a brand new truck. It's legitimate leather or whatever, I guess, legal form of leather that you can use now. Thank you, PETA, hometown, shout out. It's a comfortable ride. The suspension, we have the Bielstein shocks in here. It works really well. It absorbs the bumps in the road. The cabin is quiet. This does have a panoramic sunroof, and we do have it, open to where you would be getting a little bit more road noise than if you just had things buttoned down, or if you didn't have a sunroof at all, it'd be even more quiet. I would opt for basically all of the options that this vehicle has. I want the 360 camera. I want the towing assist with the trailer braking function. I want this panoramic sunroof or moonroof, whatever you want to call it. And I think that's spec'd out. This is just a really good setup here. You got a ton of room as a driver. It's very comfortable. These are hard plastics up top. That's kind of the one ding that I would give them. They should have put some type of material similar to what they do on the dash over here and kept the stitching. They did do that for your elbow down below, but yeah, I don't know. I like to put my arm up high like this, and after a while that might get a little irritating. But the seats bolstering, it's good. It's nothing to write home about. I do have the lumbar support on full, and man, I feel like I just sunk into a broken down lazy boy or something, and then now I feel like I've got a basketball in my back. That is how pronounced it is. Turn signal, not super noisy. These do feel like higher quality than what I felt in the F-150 that I drove recently. I don't know, it feels a bit more notchy and more rugged than what I saw in the F-150. GMC also has that same thing. You retain a column steering, which I'm not a huge fan of. I prefer just the dial, but most people prefer this column shifter or the traditional center stack shifting. I like just the dial right there. I'm lazy though, so yeah, turning, it's as good as any other truck, right? Your radius isn't going to be like a sports car. It is going to do the job and do the job fine. You can see we're on a very crappy road right now, and this is absorbing everything, the imperfections, really well. That is one of the things that I've always liked about the Titan. I feel like it rides just a hair better than most of the competition. The only one that really beats it out, in my opinion, is the Ram 1500 when it does have the air suspension, which now you're like stacking a bunch of variables on top of that, right? That air suspension is going to be something that will 100% break in the future, and I'm sure that it will be just insane to replace that. I would take this suspension over that all day long, because this is a traditional, leaf spring suspension. You're going to be able to beat it up, and it'll be fine. All right, and for the moment that everybody's waiting for, what do you get for your money here? So going over all the mechanical stuff that I've already explained, but if you want to freeze frame and get the specifics, go ahead. Over here, base MSRP is $57,890, right? And this one has a lot of options. So it has roughly $11,100 worth of options. That's the bad thing about Nissan, is they kind of nickel and dime you for everything. You can see you've got a Pro-4X convenience package, but if you want to, get the panoramic moonroof and the power one tilt steering and all that crap, intelligent all around view monitor camera, and the ventilated driver and passenger seats, that is another $2,740, which is pretty expensive if you ask me, because you're already paying for one, convenience package. Now you're having to pay for the premium package on top of that. So I don't know. I would negotiate the crap out of that. All right, so tell me what you think about the 2024 Nissan Titan Pro-4X. This is a swan song. Nissan has officially killed off this truck. This will be your last opportunity to buy something like this. And I would encourage you to do so, because as the technology evolves and things get more and more complicated, like Ram is coming out with this new Huracan engine, probably going to make a ton of great power, be fairly efficient, and so on. But it's never going to give you that peace of mind like you have here. This 5.6 liter and the 9-speed automatic transmission is literally bulletproof. I feel like I could jump under the hood of this and shoot it with an AK and then go driving on my merry way for the next 10 years, right? You've got a ton of off-road capability. You've got the best suspension under the sun from Bielstein, and underbody protection, all of that stuff. And with this XD package, you have a lot of capability from a workhorse standpoint. This is a very, very compelling vehicle, and I would encourage everybody to not look past it, especially with, it being the last year and everything. You may be able to find yourself a pretty good deal on one. Trucks are on sale right now, so do yourself a favor and check out the Titan. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.